Alright, hello everyone. This is Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the adventure mode that everyone probably remembers playing as a kid and only remembers the cutscenes. But in this, we're gonna skip all of them because we want to go fast. So just one thing to quickly mention, it seems like we're allowed to have like game cam controller slash input viewers, so I decided to why not have mine on. The only issue that you might see is that the left trigger is automatically pressed down. The last time I messed with my motherboard, it kind of did that, and I have no solution to it. So if you ever see like no input being made, but on the gameplay see like a shield, especially when I shield stop, that'll be because I pressed the left trigger, but that's the only time I will probably be using the left trigger, really. So I just wanted to clear that up. But I think I'm just gonna start now. Okay. So obviously playing on easy because it's the fastest mode. And alright, 3, 2, 1, start. Alright. So like I said, skipping cutscenes because fast. Luckily, we're just automatically able to. Right away, we're going to do one of the most funniest strats in the entire run. So funny. We just kill off Mario. So now skipping more cutscenes, and now choose Kirby again, because the way to speed up some of these load times for character selections is picking the same character back to back, but also it helps that we're picking the optimal characters, which luckily Kirby is more optimal than, say, Mario in this case. And with some of these horde fights, RNG is very nice, so very nice. He's able to get that triple kill and normally wouldn't have with normal size Kirby. Owie. Owie. Alright, that's nice. You might see me do that a little bit, trying to hit enemies into each other, because that just cancels out the like careening animation, just quickens their deaths. Now we have our first boss right away, PD, and right here I'm going after the left cage, which is Zelda, and that's because there are very few levels in this game that are dependent on what character you could play as if you save Zelda or Peach, and it's more optimal to save Zelda there because we play as Sheik in 2 levels. So, very quick first level, and now we come into our next one, which shows off a very broken mechanic that some people may find in competitive with Meta Knight and also Pit, but you rarely see Pit in competitive, but we will see that shortly. Just have to get through the level first. Wow, unlucky RNG. I think one more. No, okay. So, I'm going to do a long glide, and the gliding mechanic in this game, if people are familiar with Meta Knight in this game, and as you can see with Pit, it's actually also kind of broken, and we're going to be doing that by skipping quite a lot of fights in this run. So there are fights that the triggers of them don't extend all the way to the top of the screen / blast zone, so we can actually skip over them mostly with gliding with Pit and Meta Knight, and we'll also skip a few more fights with a couple different characters. So I'll just set this up so that I'm magnified in the blast zone going above the trigger and just glide over the fight. The decent sized fight there, and quite a lot of those throughout the run. Alright, right away we're into our first level where it's dependent on if we play as Zelda or Peach, or Kirby I guess, but Sheik faster. Zelda's literally only useful in this game for pressing down B. So, with another thing in Subspace, the core mechanics have changed, so you may think, hey, if I could play Sonic, I'd play Sonic the whole way, right? But actually that's wrong, because the run speed is kind of centralized around every character. Every character run speed was tweaked, so faster characters are a little slower and slower characters are a little faster, so everyone's kind of in that same realm of run speed, but there's a little noticeable differences, but not too many characters are faster than others. So that's just one thing that they messed with Subspace, because it's definitely very different than normal Brawl. More running and more fights. So that wasn't really optimal. I keep forgetting to do a back air instead of up smash because I wanna, if I could end the fight while moving away from it, that's ideal. So a couple of damage boosts like that. Yeah, not many people remember it other than cutscenes. Nice damage boosts. But it's got a lot of heavy platforming and interesting strats, especially with fight skips. And speaking of interesting strats, I will be performing one at the start of this, or not the start of this level, but starting with this level that I will attempt many others. Right there, I went after that turquoise cube because it has a 50-50 frame roll of getting a big mushroom or poison mushroom and getting a poison mushroom and doing this and avoiding it and doing this movement correctly. It doesn't lose any time, but I kind of already messed up. I want to sink 2 seconds, forgot a big mushroom, but I will be performing what's known as a pause glitch. Yeah, it's a tiny bit slow. So if I do a frame perfect pause when a fight begins, when I enter the fight trigger from the first frame, it unlocks the locked camera that you've seen from the couple of locked fights that we got so far, and I can actually manipulate my way around the fight so that I can kill some enemies earlier and actually make them die off screen. And I was 1 frame off there. Hopefully I'll get it once this run, because it is actually a really interesting strat. And there'll be plenty of times that I will go for it. So it may look like I just accidentally hit the button, but no, it's definitely intentional. For fights that I've created strats for, I only do it for fights that it could save 4 seconds or more, except for like one that's just like a super quick fight. Now we have our first of many auto-scrollers, and I promise this game isn't full of them. I'm sure if people remember the gameplay at least of this, they probably remember a lot of auto-scrollers, but it's actually, at top level, it's less than 1/8 of the entire run, and then much less lower down. Because I've seen plenty of people throughout all my marathon runs of this game complain about the auto-scrollers at times. Another little damage boost to get up here. And then this will be another case of hitting enemies into each other just to end fights quicker. So I can get out of here earlier. Alright, back to pit, back to broken gliding. Another damage boost, but I forgot to hold down. Oh, I ate my first jump. Now I have to do a backup. Just up special back up here so that I can set up my glide. And look how broken this glide is. Yep. Brawl. Alright. And I'm dying because Mario's better than Pit for fights. And this will, at the end of this, I'll do another attempt at a pause glitch. It's got a more lenient visual cue. They're all frame perfect, so it's still 1 out of 60, but some of them have better visual cues than others. I didn't want to pick that up right away. Sometimes big mushrooms are good, most of the time, but very few cases where it's actually slower. Alright, attempt another one, hopefully. I think I was a frame or two off again. Yeah, so what I would have done is just killed those 4 enemies that I just killed off the right platform, and then I would have just went to the right, and just off screen, all the left enemies would have just perished. For whatever reason, that's just how it works. And it's very interesting for a lot of these fights. Especially the fights with a ton of enemies. Now, it's the second boss. They put Rayquaza in this game for some reason, because Sakurai felt like it. I thought that'd kill. So, Fox again, because like I said, picking the same character back to back saves a bit of loads and also helps that most of the time they're optimal as well. And this is quite a big movement. I keep jumping on the wrong Goomba. Very like movement heavy level. So here we have probably the best song in the entire game that probably, if anyone remembers anything about Brawl. Oh, it's my side B. Also, since I have the input viewer up, you can see when I'm entering doors, I'm holding up right or up left. That just lets me enter the door on the first frame I can, rather than just getting in the general range and pressing up. So, there's that little thing. Oh. This room is very weird, going through different realms to like do a fight. A little B reverse mechanic there for that laser shot. It's gone through a different bunch of realms because that's how the progression is in this level. Oh, that's unfortunate. Now we have another auto-scroller, and this one's decently long, but I'll be cutting a little bit of it halfway through because I can enter a secret door halfway into this, and it spawns us a little further into the auto-scroller and saves like 2 seconds, but I think a donation or 2, if possible, is fine enough for this auto-scroller. Freaking picked up a screw attack, so that screwed up my shot. I guess I'll keep talking. I wanted the SD eventually to be Diddy Kong because the ending part of this level is a lot easier with Diddy, mainly because of the down air. Because Fox doesn't have a spiking down air. Snow runs. None yet? Okay. That's fair. So if you ever see those gold cubes, that's just part of 100%. don't pick up any, but picking up any doesn't really cause any issues. Unless they were music discs, but I've collected all the music discs possible. So it shouldn't be any issue if I accidentally pick something up from those. Yeah, the Brawl music has a crazy good amount. Alright, so here we have a falsified Bowser that I'm just gonna spike. Give him the 1-2. So a lot better than Fox, because, you know, you can't properly shine spike in this game like Melee. Though it is a strat, at least on Intense. And I'd recommend anyone wanting to run this game never run Intense. It's a miserable time. I can literally say that from 3 months ago. And look at this, another auto-scroller, because Sakurai loves his auto-scrollers. I mean, he's made Kirby games with a quarter of them being auto-scrollers, probably. So, yeah. So, with Lucas in this level, I'll be actually skipping a fight at the end. So, actually not just using Pit and Meta Knight's Glide to skip fights. Yeah, so I guess I can mention on really early that I am playing on a specific game version for a reason, and that's the PAL version of the game. And that's because I think in like early 2018 it was discovered that there was an auto-scroller halfway through the run that you can skip, and it's only a PAL exclusive for whatever reason, because of the like earlier released version, because NTSC should be 1.02 and then PAL should be 1.01. So for whatever reason, in a level later on, we can skip a fight to prevent activate. Oh my god, this is not fun having Porky in a show. But we could skip a fight that we normally can skip in NTSC as well, but it's the strat afterwards that allows us to skip the auto-scroller that I'll mention when we get there, probably in like half an hour or so. And it saves like a minute and 20, and it's this, and there's a few other things that benefit from PAL, like being able to select levels quicker for whatever reason. There's a slight delay for most levels. Some cutscenes, like 2 or 3, are a little slower on PAL for whatever reason, but mostly that 1 minute 20-second auto-scroller skip time save is the reason why we play on PAL for the last 4 years. But yeah, here's the third boss. Just flick the C stick down. And right here you can see me just doing a very useless mechanic to the run, which is just the high magnet jumps. You can actually see it with the input viewer. They won't have any use, they're just little fun things to do during downtime. So here is a magnet boost mechanic with a Lucas, where I can just move with forward momentum, launching myself with his down B attack. With a side B going the opposite direction. I actually wanted that. Alright, enough. Alright, so now I'll attempt another pause glitch. And this one's a very wonky one if I do get it. Another frame early. It's very easy to be a frame or two early, or even late, just because they're frame perfect. So these enemies, I really want to just kill the ones that initially spawn, because they're the ones that matter. But I just killed everyone anyway. So don't have to kill every single one of those enemies. And now in this room is another fight skip, because they didn't put the fight triggers all the way up the blast zones. So I just want to kill out these flows because they're freaking annoying trying to go for this. I'll just bring the rest down it's RNG if all 4 of them come towards me or not. And then set this up. Have to be on the very left side of that platform. And then do a up special and skip that fight. So there'll be another one with Lucas later on. So already quite a decent amount of fight skips in the run, but it gets a little crazier, especially with this level. This level, in explaining one particular room in a marathon, has always been hell. But since it's pretty boring running for the first minute, I guess I can partially explain before I get to a fight halfway through. But there's a room around 5 years ago that I discovered a really stupid way to skip half of it. The second half is just skipping the fights like normal. The first half is skipping half of the auto-scroller, and it requires a lot of weird circumstances that occur that allow it to happen. So there'll be 4 fights. Technically 5 if you count the auto-scroller fight. I didn't want to kill that guy. I wouldn't go for damage boost in this door. Oops. But while I go for this 4th fight, I can explain a little bit more, but also I'm picking Marth because, like I said, the quicker spawn in, and also Marth is just better for this fight because the only enemies that Meta Knight can't kill on easy difficulty are literally sword requirements, because there is like a Pokemon like typing system that is hidden and like probably less than 0.1% of people know about in this game mode. So anyway, there'll be 4 fights, or technically 5 in the next room, but I'll only be entering 2 of them, hopefully, as long as I get the ending fight skips. I want to leave this guy last alive because I want to spawn in as Meta Knight, so we just do a little strat there to take him off the stage, as well as ourselves to spawn in as Meta Knight in this room. So this room is very wonky, so with the first half, there's an auto-scroller, but there's also 2 fights. And what I'm gonna do now is skip the first fight and enter the second fight. Now, why am I entering the second fight? Because the first fight's trigger is super close, and what I'm gonna do is very weird. I'm gonna take one or both enemies, ideally one, into the auto-scroller with me, and at a very specific time, I'm going to kill him so that the auto-scroller camera unlocks. And fun fact, the auto-scroller timer is still going on in the background, so I'm timed, and if I mess up anything, I will literally die. And be whiplashed back. But I just skipped one fight, and I skipped another. So, it's a lot to take in with that room. So, because the auto-scroller's timer is still going on in the background, because most auto-scrollers have end fights. So I was on a timer, and if I messed up at all, like if I died, I'd have to wait out the timer to just kill me, so that I wouldn't be losing any other extra time. And then at the end of that room, I just skipped 2 more fights, which is pretty normal. So it's a very weird room to explain. Just kind of like pieced it all together like 5 years or so ago, and we've been doing that ever since. It's like my first major contribution to this run, since I started this around 5.5 years ago, and that was like 2 months after I literally started running the game. So if that was odd enough to explain, there's also another fight skip. This room, or this level, has become from like 8 minutes casually to like 4 minutes in the speedrun, so I just skipped another fight trigger. That one's awkward because it's a diagonal. The top is kind of diagonal, so I had to go a little. I had to like rise while going for that glide. So that's a pretty lengthy fight. Just skipped. Yeah. I've been using it since like 2018. It just sucks I messed with my motherboard too much that the left trigger is kind of like automatically detected as pressed down when it really isn't. Tried fixing it my best that I could and haven't been able to. Anyway, this level, Yoshi is a great all-around Subspace character. Never pick Link. Link is abysmal trash in this mode. Another pause glitch. Damn, that's like the easiest one to hit, just because the setup is like so simple. But of course I'd go too early. I think every one I've been a frame or two early so far. There's still plenty more, but that just sucks. So pretty interesting, honestly. But anyway, speaking of Yoshi being good and Link not being good, I always like to mention how the tier list, if anyone has ever seen a competitive tier list of Smash, and with this game, you'll know that I'm probably playing the less ideal characters competitively, and that's for a reason. The worst characters competitively are much better Subspace characters. So if you saw me pick DK over Diddy in like the jungle earlier, I mean that level really both characters are pretty decent at, but I just always preferred Donkey Kong because of strats. But you'll see a lot of lower tiered characters throughout the run just because they're much better in single player. And that's not because of like version difference or just difference in general. Just the core mechanic changes that heavily affect a lot of the higher tier characters, just prevent them from being pretty decent. On the way. So you'll see a lot of weird character selections if you're more familiar with competitive scenes. No, I got like 4 hours of sleep. It was kind of decent. At least for me in the summer. So now we are in Facility 1, where we pick Zero Suit for about 20 seconds, and goodbye. So now we have Pikachu. And Pikachu is quite a good character in this game mode, because we can do a mechanic of quick attack cancels with his up B. If we buffer, because there's a buffer system, we buffer a jump after landing with an up special on the ground, we can instantly jump and just chain them together. Oh, I nearly died because I did the wrong movement. So you'll see a bunch of quick attack canceling whenever on Pikachu. Just really ideal. Just a very fast way to make it through the Pikachu levels. Alright, so here's a dumb level design. There's a button up there that I have to get a second key to get to, but with Pikachu and Zero Suit, the two playable characters, you can just up B. Oh, okay. I didn't hold down left quick enough. Alright. I'm gonna die Zero Suit when I get to this auto-scroller in a second, because Zero Suit is a much worse character in this level, and in Subspace in general. But that button I just hit, with Pikachu, just down B through the level, and with Zero Suit, just up B through the level, and you can just avoid the second key to just unlock that section to get to that button. It's just some dumb level design that just was just overseen. So now we are back to Pikachu, because I shouldn't have killed him first off. It's a Pika Walk, the famous Pika Walk that every runner does. Some random like ledge that's there for whatever reason, poking out in the platform. Just killing some enemies there with a down B just before they spawn, so I could just get through and hit that button earlier. And then more quick attack cancels. Oh, I'm holding up right or up left too early. Yeah, if you see the input viewer, you'll see me hold like a direction while waiting for myself to load in, or holding jump or whatever button because of the buffer system. It's just really beneficial, and obviously quick. The buffer system is quite nice in this game. So we have this fight. This fight sucks because sometimes these enemies aren't compliant and they don't really have much knockback because metal. Yeah, the music, the OST in this game is, outside of remembering cutscenes for a lot of people, it is probably a good reason to come back to this. But the platforming is just as good, in my opinion. There's quite a lot of interesting stuff to do. Alright, so now we have probably one of the worst parts of the run that a lot of runners absolutely hate. It's these fights at the start of Lakeshore, and just killing these falsified characters off to the side. That's such a pain for most runners. There we go. So Zelda's dead, and we killed Zelda because we saved Zelda originally. So if we saved Peach, we'd be playing as Yoshi and Link. And while Yoshi is more ideal, but Pit is much better, and we want to be Sheik for like 2 levels, so it all works out. But this fight absolutely sucks. You can get crazy good RNG and it just end in a freaking instant, or it take like 30 extra seconds. It's definitely one of the worst parts of the entire run for many of us. And Yoshi nearly just SDI'd that away and nearly got hit to the right, which would have been absolutely crazy. Okay, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad. And now I'm going to start off as Pit again, because I want to get to this platform auto-scroller starter real quick. And I'm going to SD here, because I'm going to go for another pause glitch. And this one looks very wonky if I get it. And that was pretty late. So if I got the pause glitch, I could just skip the entire fight here by literally killing myself. I would have just literally jumped off to the left and killed myself, and the fight would be over. Pause glitch is very, very weird in plenty of these levels. So, reason why I SD'd there is, I mean, for the pause glitch, I don't really need to be Yoshi specifically, but I always like that in a full run. It's not optimal enough in IL, but in a full run, it's just a safer bet to SD as Pit and stay as Yoshi, because Yoshi's so much better than Pit in that fight particularly, if I don't get the pause glitch. And also, the end level after this freaking auto-scroller. So many auto-scrollers early on, but they slow down a little bit later besides one level. But we are ideally Yoshi at the last part of this level, so just loading in with Yoshi is also a benefit. So if I got the pause glitch, I'd save 11 seconds in that fight, but I'd overall save 8 seconds because I'd not be spawning in quick enough in the last part of this level, because I wouldn't have Yoshi anymore. So it's still overall time save, but it's a little hint at the at why having the same character played throughout the whole level ideally is a good choice, and why you'll only see like maybe 10 characters ever. So fun auto-scroller. Fan, big fan. So now I'm off screen. I'm gonna enter the room a little earlier, because Once the camera gets far enough, I can just enter the door. Get this little double kill. Down B with Yoshi. Really good movement option to go vertically. I think that's the only, or the second time, 1 or 2 times that down B there is only useful. Now this is like a mini auto-scroller, but just to get through everything quicker, just a little damage boost. More keys. And then more egg roll. Egg roll is just such a really good option in this mode. Another fight. Oops, that's not good. I didn't want to miss that. These Shados enemies, I have to wait for their blades to open to kill them, or like I did with the double kill earlier, once they spawn in. Because like once their blades show up, then you kind of have to wait. So that's done with, and now we are going back to Lucas in this area. So this is the second Lucas skip, which is at the very start. And then we'll see no more Lucas skips. But Lucas is still very useful. A very, very good character in this game mode. Just another upbeat over that fight. Kind of short. And then the only way to get on top, around these guys is an air dodge for some reason with Lucas. Too early to jump. Doing everything a bit too early. Another damage boost. Now we have a consistent yet RNG part of the level. And the last part of this level is really, really annoying. It's just one of those mini bosses that could go really good or really bad. Just probably normally depending on the strat, and I normally go for the riskiest stuff. So it could be really good or really bad. Alright, this star's not that helpful because I never get hit in these fights. So if I wait too long, those enemies just grow and have iframes for like 3 freaking seconds. So just want to kill them as fast as possible. Another magnet boost to get onto this auto-scroller. And then delaying my attacks here so that I can get a double kill there with the arm light. Oh, oh, oh. And luckily, unlucky there. Luckily, strong hit of fair kills us in one shot. Now we're on top of the elevator. Just to enter this door quicker. Now we have a long room just to get in the fight. So this can go one of 2 ways: really good or really bad. There's a safer strat with the side B bouncing Wario here off of the walls. Instead, I'm just gonna go in the blast zone and hope to God he comes close enough to me that I can just eat him. So this could go really good if he comes towards me. He normally gravitates towards items. And what an item to get. Oh. Come here. Come here. Come here. Alright, I guess I was a little lucky, but I mean, still not ideal. So yes, hammers. The hammerhead can just fall off of the hammer. So yeah, some of those mini bosses are really annoying. I forgot to press B. Oh my god. They could be really annoying. Their AI is just very awkward because you think they'd be on pretty easy, like a pretty easy AI because of the difficulty, but some of them are really annoying. AI to deal with. That's not enough. Alright, that fight did not go very well. Now I'll have to make it through these blocks, which is pretty simple with Yoshi, and no egg roll here because there's too many enemies and the hit lag is too much for it to be a time save. Get the key. This mode very good. Yes. Alright. Doing a neutral B there just stops a little bit of my upward momentum, so do that like once or twice. Doing a little grab strat that I probably forgot to mention when I was in the forest at the very end just takes those enemies away. Also, getting an item here is good because I can just kill off that spawning enemy just to leave the fight a little earlier. If not, I'd have to wait 2 seconds to down tilt that enemy. Alright, so here's the only pause glitch that I go for that's under 2 seconds because I just kill one enemy if I get it. A little early. Hopefully I get at least one. I don't think I've not gotten at least one in a marathon run before. It's plenty of times to get it. So, hopefully. Alright, air dodging through that boulder so I don't get hit. Oh my goodness. Sometimes that happens, very rarely it does. You see me spamming start A because that just is the quickest way to skip cutscenes, but sometimes the input will just be read backwards because you have to press start then A. Sometimes it gets read as A then start, and that time it did. So here I'm picking Squirtle instead of Lucas because there is a little... Oh, I don't know if that's useful. I've never actually had this happen before. Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter, but maybe that could have helped, being metal. I've never gotten metal there before, but I wanted to skip, that, like, distracted me from explaining what was happening, but there was a little time frame that I had to, get further into that, like, little puzzle block section, so that I can just, skip being stuck in the first half, which normally would happen with Lucas. You can only skip it with Squirtle in at least any %. Probably maybe a character or two in NG+, but yeah, that's why I chose Squirtle. We're gonna kill him shortly, because Lucas is just a much better character in this. That's his only use, besides one part in the final level. He also has a nice up tilt. Yeah. Like, that's literally... I don't even remember seeing a metal block spawn there. And I always do random up airs just because I like to when I'm falling down there. And it just... I mean, it technically helps, but it just distracted me so much. It never happened. I don't know if it's ever happened to any runner before. It just gives you more of a time frame to get the little... to get further into that puzzle section, I guess. So now I'm Lucas, because Lucas is much better for the rest of the level, and you might be confused as to why I'm intentionally taking damage. There's a small damage boost that I'm going to be doing after this autoscroller ends. I'm going to intentionally end the autoscroller, because there's another secret door that I can enter the further get into the autoscroller. So I'm going to take about 150 here. I can probably survive this if everything goes right with the 180, but I like to do 150 to be safe. And I'm going to do a little damage boost that saves about 1 second. And the funny thing about this is, normally when you go from room to room, you expect the damage to reset, right? Well, not this room. So now we have 3 fights at 160%. Luckily, they're really all consistent. As long as I don't mess up anything, I shouldn't die at all. There's only one moment... Oh, that's really lucky. There's only one moment that could kill me in the 3rd fight if I get a mine to spawn and it just lands on top of me, then that's just pretty unfortunate. So, luckily these fights are pretty consistent. So unless I get a mine to spawn right here, or just completely mistime that up smash. Well, that kind of sucks. I'd like never mistime that. Also, a shell here could be helpful, I think. I actually don't know. I think it can. Okay, it actually is helpful. I have to roll there because I'd probably be squished. Normally, I get a hothead there and I can... Oh, that's a lucky no impact land. Normally I get a hothead, which are like the circular fire friendly enemies that I entered the door off screen. You couldn't see because of the camera. Oh Jesus, he's running at me. So now we have Charizard, another annoying character that just is very RNG. If I can get a back air spike, that just kills him. There we go. And that's the strat to kill him. Lucas's back air spike is such a hard hitbox to hit. But that's always been the fastest way to just kill him. Yeah. Normally, that shell, I'd normally get a hothead and do the same thing. I don't remember the last time I've hit those buttons with the shell, because most of the time you don't get either, so then I have to, you know, manually hit them with a jab or whatever. Anyway, back to a Meta Knight level. This level is very interesting halfway through. There's 2 boring auto-scrollers at the start and end, but halfway through it's kind of an interesting strat. There's a fight skip that we've always done, but then also 4 years, like in 2018 was the peak of this game in terms of people running, strategies found, and whatnot. So a lot of interesting stuff was found. So there'll be a fight skip, but not a very typical fight skip that you see. Though there is a fight skip, it's going to be just done in a very weird way that you probably would never expect. So really quickly, just get through this section. If I can do the banned competitive technique, Invincible Dimensional Cape, and just go across the entire plane here while invisible, which I suck at. I'm gonna do a fight skip, but not an ordinary fight skip. I'm gonna just clip through the mountain, and I was very lucky to get that first try. It's like a 1 pixel thing or something. I literally have no clue. Oh, I'm supposed to do a full glide. So at the top of the mountain, there is a fight, and there is a fight skip for it, just a normal glide. But we can save 10 seconds by clipping to the mountain with Meta Knight, because Meta Knight. This game is only, like, all Meta Knight. It's really just Meta Knight. It was found by accident, and ever since then I've been using it in runs, sometimes getting it and saving like that 10 seconds or a little less, or sometimes being really stubborn and going for it until I get it and losing 30. So that was just really lucky to get it first try. So it looks weird, but it's a very specifically timed jump and up B into the ledge of the mountain in order to clip through it. Oh, that's unlucky. Right here, I just wanted to glide past all these cannons, because cannons slow. Have to actually stop a little earlier, because the momentum was too slow. Now, we have a boss. And Meta Knight, just being the broken character that he is, he also pretty much annihilates bosses with 2 moves. So right here, I'm gonna be on the right side of the boss so that he does this attack, his 4 jumps, and I can just chain attacks while he's doing them, because he just jumps in place if you get him to face towards the closest blast zone. Right here, we have the quickest level in the entire run. We're gonna fight the same boss, but we're gonna be using the broken mechanic. If anyone's ever seen a boss battles run of this game, Charizard's Rock Smash just obliterates every single boss in this game. It has been the strat since literally the first week of the game's release. And will be useful at the very end of the game. So right here is where the PAL exclusive stuff starts. So right here, this is both NTSC and PAL possible to skip that fight. That starts an auto-scroller, but this is where the wonky stuff starts. I'm gonna die. I went right enough to hit a death warp trigger and die and completely skip an auto-scroller and save 1:20 just because I'm on PAL. I paid $20 to save 1:20. So in NTSC, if I did the exact same thing, it spawns me back at the very beginning of the level. So it took like a day or two. Oh, that's just unlucky if he hits. I could normally just glide here and skip this fight, but now I have to up through it. A lot of fight skips, and a lot of backups in case stuff goes wrong. But normally just dying the way I did just spawns me back at the start of the level, and it took a day or two to realize what has happened, because the only European runner we had, she found, she just randomly just started doing random stuff and just after skipping the fight, she decides to die off to the right. Since then, it's been dying into that little pit that I did. But she like died all the way to the right and spawned past the auto-scroller, and it took a day to like realize, oh, it's a PAL exclusive thing, and how lucky we were to have a European runner actually do this. So because of that, what am I doing? It's not the right movement. And because of that, we are playing on a version faster than NTSC. So now back to Fox because movement. And back to the best song in Brawl, probably, for a lot of people. That nearly missed. This is going very weirdly. Okay, that was not good. Alright, little auto-scrollers that we can skip a little bit, just like the few ones that I have already, or at least attempted to, like in the freaking jungle. There's another secret door that we can just enter as soon as possible. Oh, where am I? Okay, I just lost a second. Just so that spawns the auto-scroller further into, or the camera further into the auto-scroller. Right here, I'm just gonna unlock the rest of the path, and also SD to spawn in its Diddy. And this is not because of another dare strat or anything. There's gonna be a fight that probably a lot of people have very fond memories of, and being very stressful. But I'm gonna spawn with Diddy so that I get a quicker load, because we're gonna fight the giant Diddy, and I'm gonna ruin your childhood in 3 seconds or less. That's the strat. That's literally it. That's literally it. You just back throw. and he's dead. You can do that literally on any difficulty. Now back to Fox because of movement. Alright, no more Bramble Blast, sadly, but half of these are still pretty good to listen to. Now I just have side Bs to get across these springs. Pretty much just a spring room. And then another auto scroll to start here that I want to activate as quick as possible, so getting onto the platform isn't really ideal right away. Alright, and then we have this fight strat that I'm at a very specific position and just time these F smashes correctly to kill everything. And then a last enemy paratrooper at the left could spawn either really high or really low. Ideally, you want it really low, but it's hard to kill it because you have to do like a short hop into a full hop and get that strong hit of a nair, other than doing like a full double jump if it spawns high. And then another short auto-scroller that enter the door off screen because we're able to. Alright, so normally Pikachu here is faster, but to make Pikachu movement in this first part faster requires a lot of well-timed quick attack cancels, and in the layout of this level is very awkward. So, still use Zero Suit, at least in a full runs. Now I just have to wait for this to open up, which I normally do with my little visual cues that I always do. I messed up there. And this is the only time Zero Suit is faster than Pikachu. Her downer just kind of sends her flying. So we can just skip those stairs by doing that. And now going back to Pikachu, because we have some more falsified characters that is much easier to kill with Pikachu, because we can just hit them up and abuse Pikachu's Thunder. Oh, that didn't kill. That's unfortunate. There we go. Yep. Much easier to kill with Pikachu than Zero Suit. And now we're choosing Samus, and it may be a bit confusing because obviously Pikachu in this game is way better than Samus, but I'm going to be doing a fight skip that's also doubled as a Death Warp. So a Death Warp that skips a fight. So that is why I'm Samus. I'm just going to do this whole room with Samus, do a Death Warp in the next room. Oh, okay, just skip that button. I wanna get on the platform with that button. Alright, right here, I'm gonna jump off and barely reach this death plane that is just to the right of this pillar in the background, so that I can spawn at a higher up part. I don't know why that didn't hit the platform, but there was a button to activate all these platforms that you normally would hit after doing a fight up there, but instead just thunder it. So this is cool movement, and I can do this right. I'm going to be skipping another fight by... that was too early. I'm going to be skipping another fight by sequence breaking, how you're supposed to do this section. I'm going to be doing some well-timed wall jumps into a quick attack to get up to that teleporter to skip a room and a fight. And both these characters suck for bosses, and this is the only option we have. Whenever Ridley does this attack, I can just SDI it and spam thunders to get a little bit of damage. Ooh, that's lucky RNG. Please give me the wind. No. Alright, well this is not very lucky. But, alright. This seems like a very, yeah, this is a terrible RNG Ridley. Thunder there for a little more damage. Be all good now. Alright. Now we get to play as Falcon, after he just murdered all of Olimar's family. And Olimar, like I've mentioned with like the tier list of this game, you know that Olimar is top 3 competitively. He is bottom 3 in this mode. So, quite a lot of low tiers. Another pause glitch attempt that I was another frame or two early that I just can't get a pause glitch right now. Oh, right there I wanted to land on that enemy's head so that I can get a landing cancel to be able to instantly jump. Now we're at the end of the level already, and it's just a big horde fight. And right here, starting off the Falcon, that was perfect start. But I want to be DK pretty shortly after, because of these shade houses. If you're off screen, they'll just run away and despawn. So just quicker, and also being DK for this part of the fight is very good, because you can just monkey it up and just down B everything. A funny move. Oh, this is very nice, because you can down B the entire freaking platform. So, getting a mushroom in that fight is very, very, very good normally. Now, Glacial Peak. This has some really cool movement at the start, if I can do it right with Meta Knight. A lot of vertical movement. It's sad we don't have much more vertical levels with Meta Knight. It's actually really cool to look at. Alright, if I was a second earlier, I would have been able to make a slightly quicker cycle. It's very tight. Alright, interesting, good enough. Alright, all that cool movement into an auto-scroller, the longest auto-scroller in the game. How fun is that? Thanks, Sakurai. But if there's any donations at all, this is probably the best time for them. It's just 2 minutes of boring. I guess there's none for now. So while any percent is quite skip heavy, you may think it's quite skip heavy, but if you ever dive into looking into more runs of this game, NG Plus is a lot crazier than any percent. It's a much harder, shorter category than this game, or this category. Just playing through all of the levels, but you're obviously on a new game file, and you can play with any characters you want on any difficulty for any level, and it goes crazy with Meta Knight for quite a good amount. So if you want more Meta Knight, that would be the category. There's also quite a lot of hard, intense strats in that run if you're interested in intense. Because I would not recommend watching the 90% intense record of this game. Intense is just so sad. Right there, I just waited for those shade asses because it's just consistent. There's strats to make them die quicker and whatnot, but just waiting for them is a lot easier to deal with. Alright, so this is another fight that sucks, that lost me like 30 seconds in my record. I absolutely hate this guy. And now he's dead. Good enough. Good enough. So we just send them off to the right. And like the other main roster mini-boss character fights, they can suck or be really good. So now we are in probably one of my most hated levels because of how RNG heavy it is, because it is a massive horde fight. It's so ideally this is a good level with Kirby, because Kirby has a really good consistent strat if I do everything right after this wave. I used to play this with Yoshi, but it took a little bit to figure out how much better Kirby is, because I already messed it up, but you can just back air and side B the gliders into each other, and the hard part was just managing everything without getting damaged too much and messing up the cycles. Like that, just keep getting damaged. And that was pretty much that. Now I'm just gonna wait for all these big pyramids to bundle up, ideally, so I can just keep hitting them. This guy doesn't wanna... Oh, okay. I guess he'll just die. Alright, this level has one of the hardest strats in the entire run. So, I will try my best to explain it, but real quick, we're introduced to another little bit of a movement mechanic. Probably if you're not too familiar with Brawl, you at least know what this is. A dash attack, cancel up smash. Don't die, Snake, no! Just fastest movement with Snake, and also just propels a decent amount of characters forward. Really good competitively, but can't do it with Sheik in this, only with Snake and Falco. Anyway, I'm gonna skip this room, hopefully. This is one of the hardest strats in the entire run. Just doing a little bit of C4 self-inflicting damage to go around this entire out of bounds. Nice. Alright, I got it. And then we just skipped all the room. It's one of the hardest parts of the run, all to save 20 freaking seconds. And it wasn't really added until, I guess, I don't know if I can say recently anymore, because it was probably like 2 years ago at this point. So instead of hitting a bunch of buttons and killing a bunch of portals to open up many parts of the room, these shade-ass enemies are such a pain sometimes. I just literally just went out of bounds. And just skipped all of that with Snake. Right here is a very useful case of infinite dimensional cape. Oh, there'll be another one at the very end of the run, or two of them actually. But yeah, getting that snake skip is not the easiest, and I've only gotten it a handful of times. I think actually in every marathon that I attempted it, I've gotten it except for the last one, the one that I was at Glitch for live. a few months ago. So it would have been a perfect record outside of that one marathon. Yeah, it's a very weird looking skip, but it's crazy how it's actually RTA viable now. So now, just like the Lakeshore fights before, we have some of the most annoying fights. Really just went after a Deku Nut. Zelda and Peach here are absolutely terrible. They just run around and attack. On NG+, they're even harder, and I hate how much they're harder in that really difficult category. But, yeah. Meta Knight just down smash a bunch. So here we have our second time of being Sheik over Peach. But at this point, we can play as either or. Don't have to have one of them saved. But Sheik, much better. Oh, that was supposed to be side B because her Brawl exclusive chain ledge grabs. Oh. It's a lot faster to grab the ledges from really far away. Kind of seems a little broken. That's probably why they took it out. Replace it with a grenade in Smash 4. Just going for a damage boost, but I was too early. I never remember the movement for this part at all. For whatever reason, I never remember it. Rage in this game, that would probably benefit the enemies more than me, honestly. That would not be ideal. I might be able to skip a door cycle, which I've only done one time in my life. And if I get it in this, I don't know if I can now. That ending was a little slow, but the beginning was crazy. It just depends how these boosters are taken. That might have killed it, I don't know. I'm gonna go for it. Okay, that was a little slow, but that's the second time in my life I've ever gotten that. Holy shit. That's incredibly hard. The first fight has to go insanely well with RNG, and it kind of did with before that. Oh, and alright, let's just lose the time save. Let's just lose it. Why not? Yeah, alright, I lost that time save. Somehow. Alright, well, I got Snake Skip and the second time anyone's ever gotten that door cycle. So that's very interesting. Right here, the fastest character is Snake against this boss. Just a bunch of F-tilt. And if I'm lucky, Bazooka will spawn in right about now. And nope. And it's a beam sword. Bad. When I grinded for IO record in this, it was pain. It was literally nearly 1,000 attempts just for lucky RNG. It's so bad. Alright. I'm still surprised I got that door cycle. Literally the second time I've ever gotten that, even though it was like kind of a slower version, but that was actually nuts. So now we have another very weird thing that's about to happen. Let me just kill him so I don't get messed up. I'm gonna skip 4 seconds of this room by bonking myself. And oh, I was supposed to stay out of bounds. I'm not saving any time. I'm actually losing a second, I think. So right there, I went out of bounds a little bit. And if I stayed out of bounds with that Skull Bash, I could have just fell all the way down to that level where that door was to enter this room. Sadly, I messed it up. Alright, another very, very, very short level. Yeah, you can do it. First part of this level is not crazy interesting. Oops. Right movement. Now my cycle's all messed up. Yeah, you can do the donation whenever. Oh my goodness, sorry. Oh, that was nice. Oh, okay. I thought I'd hear it on my end, I guess not. So the first part of this level is really just getting that fight, and hopefully it goes well, and it didn't there because I kind of messed up my movement just before entering it. But there's a little damage boost smash DI that I did to stay on those crates at the very start that actually I just started doing because I don't really run this game all that much anymore. I only play it for marathons and races if anyone ever is alive to do races of it. But it's the most recent thing I've added into runs. It's the only thing I do other than marathons and races at this point with this game is ILs of this level because it's such a diverse level. Like, fight skip halfway through, a really stupid horde fight, beginning, if done well, is interesting. A pause glitch with the time save that's really freaking hard to get. It's got pretty much all. Like, if there's like a level that just captivates this entire like run experience, it's this level. It's really the most recent thing I've been doing. So here I'll attempt another pause glitch and hopefully I get it. It's really difficult. 2 frames late or something. I messed up my strat. I was supposed to kill that pyramid while I was jumping up. Alright. So if I did the pause glitch, I'd be able to go out of bounds and skip getting this key and literally hit this trigger to enter the next area. It looks very wonky if I got it. It's very difficult. And now we're in the second worst horde fight of the game. It's kind of consistent for the most part. I'd say the canyon is much worse. I absolutely hate the canyon. And sometimes, I've said this before, getting a big mushroom is not all that great. Most of the time it is, but for plenty of levels it is not. And right there you saw why. I just got hit stunned into oblivion, pretty much. Accidental bash attack. That didn't kill? Are you not wanting to move? Oh, okay. I didn't want that. This is not going very well, honestly. Right there. I didn't hit him quick enough, so he's gonna spawn. I'm gonna do a strat here if I can just kill everything. If you can just die. Alright. I really just mistimed that. Alright, I wanted to do something like that, where I just kill the arm enemy here before it goes into its little tank. So here is another semi-PAL exclusive, possible on NTSC, but it looks much different. Right here, I missed it. Alright, I guess I'm not going for it. It's actually... Alright. So if I die quick enough with everyone, it's actually still faster than taking the entire auto-scroller. It saves about a minute, but if I mess it up like that, which I haven't done that in such a long time, the reason why is I just did my double jump really early. So if I get this quick enough, I can still save 10 seconds. I'm practically losing 50 seconds. But it's not that hard. I just probably was not paying attention and just talking. So. Alright, that might be a bit too late, but that should be very easily get it. It's very lenient. Like, the time frame to hit that up B is not very hard. So losing 50 seconds instead of a full minute. So right there, I'd skip the auto-scroller. On NTSC, the camera wouldn't be locked, so that I wouldn't be able to do that death strat, or death warp, so I'd have to literally fall all the way down. And it only loses 7 seconds. So yeah, I lost 50 seconds rather than a full minute. So, sucks, but what happens when you just have to pay attention, I guess. Probably sucks more because I feel like this pace is not half that bad and may have just killed marathon record, honestly, I don't know. So now I'm SDing as Falcon so that I can spawn as DK, because like before, spawning in from one area to the next with the same character is quicker, and we have a boss fight, and it's actually fastest to do this with DK. So, just a bunch of up air and monkey claps. So, this wasn't the best RNG. The best RNG actually seems like it's the worst RNG. So, if I got the best RNG, I could get a 144, but a 140 is not that bad. Yeah. So now, I'm actually going to be DK again. Alright, actually having Falco accidentally pick second is not bad because we're going to be in another auto-scroller. But DK is really good for this first part, except when an item spawns and I can't do a running up smash, because it would just turn into a dash attack because of the item. But doing a down B into up smash is faster than the previous strat that's been used for years, which is just Meta Knight down smash in there. It's actually faster with Fox than DK, but doing it right with Fox requires odd hitboxes and just timing to save that time, so that's why DK is used instead of Fox. So now, I'm going to spawn in as Meta Knight, because we're going to do a plethora of fight skips. The entire second half of this level is fight after fight after fight, and we're just gonna skip all of them. I messed up my timing there. So I'm gonna start up a glide, and I'm going to do an extra dip just to get the full momentum. And we're gonna go in the blast zone and balance Meta Knight. Pass 3 fights, and just skip 3 fights in a row, because they're all literally not the trigger doesn't extend all the way to the top of the blast zone for whatever reason, like most of them. Alright, so that's the last fight skip. There's technically one more, or I guess you could say 2 more, but they both count as pause glitches. I'll go for one of them, the second one I won't, because I normally don't. But if I really, I might do it just because I really want a pause glitch to happen in this run. But anyway, we're in the Subspace levels, so everyone probably remembers this if they played. I forgot to go for an up B strat. That looks really interesting if I got it, but I forgot. So this is the level where you collect everyone for the last level. So anyone you lead out here is not going to be playable for the rest of the game. And I'm going to be collecting certain characters for strats and menuing, because I'm going to be doing some quit outs later on. So I collected Pokemon Trainer for Charizard because his side B is really good for a few bosses. DK and Marth there just for menuing purposes. And then at the end of this level I will collect Mario for menuing as well. So I'll only be ideally using 2 characters throughout the entirety of the final level. I just realized the input viewer just randomly stopped working. I can fix that in large auto scroller that's gonna happen next level. So just like the very first level, we repeat it here, but with the villains. I'll be able to fix the the input viewer in auto scroller in about a minute. Normally it doesn't just randomly turn off like that, but it's been very finicky for the last 2 years. So right here, I am Kirby, because he's the only choice. In the story, he ate these medallions that saved himself from a big blast that turned everyone into trophies, and that is why he's the only one alive. Anyway, the only character we collect here is Meta Knight because Meta Knight. So we have now, please go, we now have all of our, I forgot to do a jump, because if I don't do a jump, that happens. So I've collected all my characters that I'm playing and menuing with, so now we just beat the level. I messed this up, so I'm gonna have to wait. Alright, so I have plenty of time to fix this. Hopefully it doesn't mess up in the last level, because I wouldn't have any time to fix it. Alright. So this is the last portion before everyone's favorite level, the Great Maze. If you have any memories of it, you probably remember it being absolutely tedious and just absolutely not knowing where to go and spending hours upon hours figuring out where to go and everything. And you'll just see me blast through it in less than 30 minutes, so yeah. So the last part of this level, just before the Great Maze, I'm going to be doing a pause glitch here. This pause glitch actually saves the most time out of any pause glitch if I get it in the game with the strats that I found for certain fights. Yeah, way too early. I like never get that. That's probably the rarest one I get because the visual cue is so awkward. So it's whatever. Oh, bad timing, please. Of course, land on that. Alright. I haven't gotten a single freaking pause glitch. So this last one, I rarely go for. It has such an awkward setup. I'm just gonna go for it, because why not? The last time I did it, I got it, when I didn't intentionally want to. So this one has a weird death warp if I do get it. Ugh, it kind of sucks I just didn't get any previous ones. I was 1 frame off. Well, that sucks. Probably the first marathon that I did not get a single pause glitch, sadly. I feel so ashamed. Alright, getting this is kind of pointless. Because everyone just dies with the hammer. Goodbye, Wario. And that's the entirety of Subspace. Except now we have a freaking maze that we have to go through. So the route's been pretty stagnant for its history of runs. There's a small little route change towards the end that saved a tiny bit of time, but other than that, it's pretty actually straightforward which character to go to, like who's next and whatever. So, like I said, the only characters we'll be ideally using are Meta Knight and Charizard. Meta Knight has a ridiculous kill setup for easy difficulty on most characters. The layouts are different for everyone, so not everyone will be able to be killed so easily with this strat that I just did, which is just up B them off the side. Sometimes they'll be too much into the middle of the stage and that up B won't kill, so that's why I do a strat. Instead of dash attacking, which normally you'll see most of my kills are dash attack into that up B, I'll do a fair strat. It just sends them further than the dash attack, but it's more unpredictable what the enemy will do next, just because they're further sent off the stage. And so they can just, you know, do a low jump or no jumps, high jump, air dodge. It's just less predictable. Alright, Kirby's kind of messing with me. Kirby's one of the easiest characters, but in the case of bad RNG, which this this level can grant you with plenty of bad RNG. Alright. So you'll see this kill setup most of the time. Just be able to instantly kill him, dash attack and not be. That's mostly what the maze is. And the occasional slightly differing strat just because of the stage layout, probably. So now, the layouts of the entire maze, obviously, if anyone doesn't know, hasn't played this before, it's kind of like a mix-mash of the entirety of the mode. So like all the levels we visited, kind of like parts of them taken and kind of like put into this conglomerate mass of a level. So you'll just be seeing kind of like a little bit of the scenery of every level as we go on. Normally Yoshi does a double jump there. Thank you, he didn't air dodge. Alright. There's always this thing that I like to be controversial about. It's with this level is that there's seeds, like Minecraft and other games, there's seeds of RNG. Sometimes the I don't know why I did a glide so early. Don't do that, but early on, I feel like I can just tell that this is a good or a bad maze seed based on the RNG from the character's movement patterns, because they do kind of have static movement patterns, like a set good amount. So technically you can be ready for certain patterns, but most of the times just you're expecting some of the best ones. And with Kirby being bad and Yoshi being bad, I can tell this is not going to be very good RNG-wise. So right here, you saw me enter that door, and you might be thinking, that was kind of slow, why'd you do that? There was no enemy in there. That's the reason, because we're going to be quitting out after Captain Falcon, and then one more character after him, just to save on running back. So here's one of two more times with the infinite dimensional cake glitch. Didn't get it fully, but gonna kill Olimar here, and then just go out deep, because why not? And now I'm gonna do one of two quit out strats in this level, just to save time from running back. And thankfully for us, the game has like an auto save file that we can just literally just spam A and get back into our file, same file. So now here's one of two times I will use Charizard. So using Charizard because we're spawning back into the level, so it's nice that we can just use Charizard right into a boss fight. And if you've seen the Ruin Hall, you saw how destructive this move is, and this is bad RNG. See how destructive rock smashes on bosses. And if you remember at all, I said Squirtle is useful only one more time in the run outside of the ruins, and that is to simply die. He can just die quicker than Charizard, so we can get back to Meta Knight as soon as possible. That's literally it. So Charizard will only show up at the very, very end. And the rest is pretty much Meta Knight. So yeah, if you notice the scenery, you can probably tell who we're going to be fighting. If you ever got confused on who's next and whatnot. So right here, since Snake was recovering really low, my only good option there was to hog the ledge, which I might do for a few characters, just because it's all situational. It's just in the moment. And right there was much better than just doing anything stupid like attacking again. So if you grab ledge, you have intangibility frames, so that's why his Cypher that he tried to recover with didn't hit me. So I just timed that so that I wouldn't get hit. So some of these AIs are worse than others, and Game & Watch is one of them, but luckily that was really good. I should have killed them all to the left, but I got the reverse hit of the up B just from poorly timing that, and I thought I was at the snake door. I do that sometimes. So, even though you're on easy difficulty and expecting like all of these enemies to be just kind of just brain dead, a lot of them have a lot more advanced AI than the difficulty says so. So a specific couple of characters have been noticed to be a lot more difficult to kill off in this game mode. For the Great Maze especially. And then I tried to do my own strat on me, bruh. But yeah, there's a couple of characters that will likely be more annoying than others. Game & Watch is normally one of them, but I just got good RNG, I guess. So right here's a long glide. Meta Knight moment. Right here, because Ness is at the middle of the stage, and if I were to go for a dash attack up B strat, he would not die, so that's why I went for that forward air attack. Only do that for a certain amount, couple characters, just because they're normally aggroing, and by the time I reach them, they're in the middle of the stage, so it's more ideal to go for that fair strat. And getting that low, that no jump, just fall off the ledge up B kill was super rare. Actually getting that kill at all on Ness is very rare because he's very unpredictable from the forward air. More Meta Knight movement. So now I'm gonna glide over everything, and damage builds up. There's no like room that gets rid of your damage other than the checkpoints. So I want to remain as low percent as possible to prevent myself from having to heal too much. So 76% right after this boss is a heal point that I could take. I'm just not going to, because 76% I feel comfortable enough with continuing. Going left too early, geez. So there's a few save points or points in the run that I can not save but heal at. Saving is slow. If I ever feel threatened that I will die. But I think I'm gonna try my best to avoid healings this run, because a heal-less maze run is pretty fast. But I can also get to a point in the run where I'm like over 150 and like 4 characters away from the next heal and could be atrocious. Also, killing DK there showed off the room of the very final boss. And we come through the left side, which will be the final character we kill off. It's just a little sneak peek. Have to kill every character and boss. I mistimed that. It's right here. Pikachu can be annoying, but I have a safe strat that hopefully he just runs off. And just a little up air, up B. Just edge, just hog the ledge. Prevent Pikachu from recovering there. Just a safe strat. I don't really have many safe strats like that, but for characters that pose a threat and are actually genuinely annoying, I have stuff like that for. That I will go for runs. Will go for in runs. Oh, I'm just now seeing this comment. It was probably posted like 20 minutes ago, and I'm sorry. Oh, nice damage boost. Over time, it was figured out which character is best for the stage that they're in, because you can only play a certain amount of characters, because in 90% we're locked to like the storyline characters, obviously. But some characters, oh, I did that. One level low. Oh my god, please hit the button. But over time, it was figured out which characters faster. Oh, alright, yeah, I'm definitely on a bad seed because this is the easiest kill in the entire maze. You literally just up B, don't even have to do anything, but he just dropped down, so I can tell I'm on a pretty bad maze seed. But there's plenty of. Oh, I forgot. I hit that button already. Another little neat glide if I can make it all the way. Nice. That one's a little difficult. Oh. I don't know why I went left. For whatever reason in the Great Maze, most bosses are spawned on the left. Very few are spawned on the right. Zero clue why. Very good RNG and a bazooka to taunt me. If you ever get this item against a boss that's not Rayquaza, pick it up and just fire away. It just annihilates bosses. Alright, I'm gonna be funny and not heal here. This is a very dumb idea because I'm going to a completely, like, hazardous section with high percent, and I have no heals for the next 3 characters. But yeah, I keep talking when I wanted to mention the comment. But the characters have stayed the same mostly, for the most part. Very few characters have been selected in recent years as more optimal for certain levels and stuff. Like I said probably before with Kirby with the canyon, just because of a quicker strat in one wave of that level over Yoshi. It just takes time and like dedication from runners to figure out stuff. And that all was kind of like figured out in 2018 when this game was really popping off. Very few additions have been made since then, which were pretty much all by me. Because after the first sub-2 runs happened in early 2019, this game has been very, very dormant and quiet. Very few runners have come by. It's really only just me coming back from like a 3-year hiatus and improving the record by a lot, and another few runners here and there. Also, had the very first money-funded tournament for this game in its history around a year ago, which I don't know how that happened in the year 2021. It did. So, alright, this is a very weird Falco, but he's dead now. Alright, so I don't know why I'm forgetting where to go. I should probably collect that also. Right there is my little heal. Luckily I did not die. The only character that I could have absolutely gotten obliterated by is running at DDD at full speed and then just doing a forward smash or down smash and it just obliterates me. I have died like that many times before. When I don't heal beforehand. Alright, I'm gonna be funny real quick because I want to be funny and go low. Okay, just another glide to get past everything. Alright. So, in terms of characters, this has not been that bad. In terms of movement outside of character fights, it's not been good. So I don't know if Marathon record is on the table. It might be, but I have no clue. I don't have the timer up at all. I'll check at the very end of the run. But marathon record, if anyone's curious, is a mid 155. And luckily, I have 2 chances to break it in the next 3 weeks, which this marathon, and I actually am running another marathon ice trip in about 3 weeks. So this is one of those characters that's absolutely annoying. If he air dodged there, I would have cried. Now we have quite a long section to get to our next boss. Right there, I did like a buffer system with that up air, where I just up aired and buffered a jump so that I get an instant jump and land on that platform at the top of the mountain pretty cleanly. Now more gliding to just dodge absolutely everything in this game. Alright, this room is very cool if I do the strats right, because I can make this cycle with this button to get to the next part. Wow, alright, that was... I had so much room to mess that up. That was perfect. I'm hoping that he doesn't do his 4 jump attacks right away, because you can get... I can have enough time to reach the opposite side of him, just so that he stays in his one place to the right. But it's not as optimal than just him doing another attack. So that probably just killed the gold split pot, actually. Sad. Alright, now we're on to the last section of the maze. Yes, the last. It might have seemed like this gone by insanely quickly, and that's just how the maze has been optimized. It's pretty straightforward in terms of route, pretty basic in terms of strategy. It's just, you know, executing, really. So I entered that door because I'm going to be doing another pause glitch. The only time I will enter one of those checkpoint doors, or not a pause glitch, save and quit. Or not a save, but, you know, just a quit out. So the only times I want to enter the doors are for quit outs, but right there I entered, and I did get back my health just in case. I was supposed to do a tornado so I can get past this block, but I'm pretty sure I still barely lose anything if I mess it up, unless I just missed landing there. So I probably lost like 3 seconds. So this movement is very awkward. It's midnight. So now I'm gonna just do a glide, and now we have another set of annoying characters before the quit out. And just fake out her drop down and just jump, and if good. Right. Some of these AIs, the harder AIs, have really good DI, so they can live some of these attacks when normally you wouldn't expect it. Like how Zelda just lived even though I just up-beat her off of the right side and she's quite a light character. Just good DI. Some of these AIs just naturally have good DI for whatever reason. Alright, another trip. Alright, I had to go for earlier up B because I know she really likes to up B kind of high. Alright, our second quit out. Just to prevent backtracking. But I could mention, since that's the second time I've tripped in this whole run, tripping, I'm pretty certain, is toned down in Subspace with all the core mechanic changes. But it's still possible. I don't think it's the generic 1 in 100, 1% that normally happens in Brawl, like normal Brawl and stuff, but it's still there. It still happens. Every runner will have like maybe 2 to 4 trips per run. I honestly can't remember the last time I've had a tripless run. I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure someone's had it. For me, I can't remember at all. But, yeah. Alright, that was just terrible DI by Wario. Another really annoying character in this. Oh, that's not a good up B. Okay, fine. Luigi always jumps for whatever reason. Ever since I got POW, he never stays put. There's like 2 characters that just completely change because of the version, and I don't know if that's coincidental or that's just completely just luck. I have no clue, but I hate that that happened when I switched from NTSC to POW. Alright, this room is cool when done right. Just a lot of... Alright, that was really good. This is good RNG, and I do this alright. It's good goal. Okay, maybe now I can't. Sad. Okay, I probably missed gold, sadly. Look, Bunny Hood. This is what peak Brawl looks like. Alright, so now I'm gonna go back because that is the last section that we still have characters to kill off, so warp back down to the bottom left, which is also a benefit of why we entered the door, both for the quit out and the only way that we can warp back to these checkpoints is going through the checkpoint doors to begin with. Oh, the freaking, like, platform landing kind of messed with my up B there. Gave me a side B, that was super awkward. Alright, so this is the Glacial Peak room again. Quite interesting vertical movement. Right there, I could get a big mushroom and be very sad, because big mushroom not good here. That's not good. I'm just gonna kill him because he can just easily attack me if he wanted to. Please jump. Thank you. Oh, he freaking DI'd that. DI'd of up air. Went back into the middle of the platform, or middle of the stage. Okay, I'm messing up so much little movement outside of fights. It is ridiculous. I've not messed up this much, just simple things outside of normal fights in a marathon ever. I tried to read that. Alright, bye Nana. So, if the second player of the Icy's combo is dead, then the whole character isn't dead, because it's the Popo. It's the first player that counts there. Alright, we're coming up to the very, very end, the last stretch of characters. Do a long glide. Long glide. You hit this button. And another character that just feels completely changed from NTSC to PAL for no reason whatsoever. Normally he just jumps, but I think he didn't because I just stood still. Alright, I can enter this door if I get this movement right, otherwise I'd waste 10 seconds and have to enter that checkpoint door to get rid of that spike ceiling. So that was actually, that strat was used by the first person who started doing IL runs and whatnot. Sectioned RTA, or just TA, runs of this in 2011. And they found that strat, and it was rediscovered in 2020, or 2021. It's literally 10 years of just going undercover. That's the first time I think he's ever just dolphin slashed me right away. I thought I landed off the platform. Okay. That is such a weird pattern, just instant dolphin slash. I don't think that might be the first time I've ever seen that. Might be another first time ever, I don't know. Alright, coming on to the last character and then our last boss, and the game will be over. So now we have the King of Evil, who should just die instantly. I'm mistiming so many things, oh my goodness. Yeah, this maze has been insanely sloppy. Alright, time will end as soon as the final hit on the boss is done, but we are here. We now face Taboo, and obviously, like I said, Charizard Rock Smash bosses just destroys them. So ideally, I want to kill him before he does his infamous off waves move. But if he does the off waves moves, for anyone that's played this game and has fought Taboo and struggled to dodge that attack, I will show you how to dodge it. It's quite simple. That's bad RNG. He moved too far away. Alright, all you have to do is literally just spot dodge. Alright, and time should be in a second. There, kill. Alright, and time. Alright, that was bad RNG, but that whole maze was not really good. No, I have an ad, so I have no clue what the time was. Oh! 154. That's marathon record by like 50 seconds. That maze was not good. Yeah. Oh, okay. Alright, but yeah, that is apparently marathon record by like 40 or 50 seconds. So that's cool. That's kind of what I wanted, 154 for a marathon. But I have another attempt at it in 3 weeks to beat that. But that's the game. A lot of fight skips, a lot of heavy movement, and quite a lot of RNG, and just situations that you just have to be prepared for. But yeah, that was an enjoyable run. I always like doing this for marathons because that's really the only reason I play this still at this point. Ever since my 152 in late 2020, I've really only just played for marathons. So I have no intentions of really returning for series runs other than maybe 100%, but I don't know. But yeah. So, I don't really have any shoutouts. I just want to say thank you for hosting this and having me on. I always enjoy running this game and showing it to people. And I think that's all. So yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, the credits are kind of long. Yeah, you could cut them. Mm-hmm.